Dana, with this next system, those seas are going to get even more angry.
I know, it's going to be eerily similar to the storm that we just had only a few days ago. So unfortunately, some of the hazards that we're looking at are going to be the same with some alterations. So that's why, Zach, we're going to jump right into the forecast today because we have a lot to cover. So we're going to jump right into the hour by hour. So this is overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. We'll have that cloud cover hanging out over tonight, but by the time we get into early tomorrow morning, most of us will see plenty of sunshine throughout the day on Friday, especially as we get into the late afternoon. Plenty of sunshine around there, a little bit more on the chilly side, getting into the upper 20s to low to mid 30s closer to the coast, but overall a pretty nice day out there. But as we get closer to the overnight hours, that's where we're going to have some building cloud cover ahead of another big system that we have moving in for the day on Saturday. So you can see that here, some cloud cover expanding over the state. Now this storm is a little bit different than our last one in the sense that the last storm was mostly an overnight event, whereas this storm is going to be mostly during the early morning hours on Saturday. So we can see here we have the precip starting to move in at Saturday at around 3 a.m. I think we could see a little bit of a wintry mix right off the bat along the coastline. It's really going to depend heavily on the temperatures that we see right along here. This model here has them in the upper 30s to lower 40s, so it puts us with rain right at the coastline to start. But then very similarly with the last storm, we're going to be watching that rain snow line progress farther and farther north as we go along. So this is Saturday at 8 a.m. We're seeing that rain snow line right by the Lewiston and Augusta area. North of the rain snow line, once again, very, very heavy snow like we saw with our last storm. And south of it, very heavy rain as well. So we'll continue to see that move northward as we go later in the day on Saturday. This is Saturday at 10 a.m. The rain snow line has reached the Bangor area. And I think most of us are going to see that changeover from snow into rain, with the exception, once again, of the highest mountain peaks and in far northern Maine, which is similar to what we saw with the last storm. I'm going to keep saying that because they have a lot of very similar qualities. So once we get late in the day on Saturday, this is Saturday at 1 p.m., we're going to start to see some clearing in New Hampshire and western Maine. And in general, the precip will start to become lighter. And then as we get late in the day, around dinner time on Saturday, we could even see some breaks into some sunshine late in the day in western Maine and in southern Maine. And it's a very quick moving storm once again. So Saturday at 9 p.m., we've already started to clear out just a couple of snow showers behind this system. So it's a very fast moving system, but it's going to be very impactful as well. So here's our snow map. With the exception of northern Maine, if you're in the blue colors here, that snow is going to fall, but after the changeover to rain, it's going to melt and get washed away. So you're not going to end up with much snow, but if you're in the mountains in that purple color, the 6 to 10 inches, that's where you will see some more snow. So overall, we're looking at a bit less precipitation than we saw with the last storm, but flooding is still a concern here, about an inch of rain falling in most places. Also, once again, we have that southeast wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour in some spots. So once again, we're looking at power outages similarly to what we had with the last storm here. And these winds are going to stay breezy as we go late in the day on Saturday, but the highest wind gusts are going to be early Saturday morning. So the National Weather Service has issued a high wind watch for the immediate coastline for gusts up to 60 miles per hour. Now, the biggest thing here is the coastal flood threat. We're looking at a very, very high tide. This is for here in Portland for midday on Saturday. Could even be setting some records here. So coastal flooding is a major concern. National Weather Service has issued a coastal flood watch, and that's in effect until Saturday at 4 p.m. So I know I just said a lot, so let's break down some of these storm headlines. It's a very similar storm to what we saw, although marginally weaker, but I do want to stress the coastal flooding is going to be very, very bad with this storm. Small craft advisory in effect, and a quick look at our 7-day forecast. We have that storm moving through on Saturday, then we get a little bit of a break of a system that we're just going to be keeping an eye on for Tuesday, Zach. But overall, Saturday's storm, though marginally weaker than the one that we just have, I do want to stress that we're still going to have a lot of impacts from it.
We will definitely be covering that one closely. Dana, thank you so much.